So Graham, welcome back to Fright Fest. How many is this now?
I was trying to think of that. I think it's 5 or 6, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe 7. I don't know. They all kind of blend together at this point.
And what is it about the festival that keeps bringing you back?
It's the community. It's the people. I feel at home here. It's like there's no other festival in the world like this where it's such a family. That's not just the filmmakers, but the fans, and it's really a beautiful thing. And I look forward to this every single year. This is always the light at the end of my filmmaking tunnel. Is I just want to get to Fright Fest.
And you're here as the director and star of the Lonely Man with the Ghost Machine that screened earlier in the festival. How did that go?
It went wonderfully. The film is a very personal film for me, and it takes some bold swings, and the audiences here have really responded well to it, and people seem to really be getting it and understanding what I'm going for, and that's really all that I could ask for. I've heard from a lot of people that it's really made them think and keep thinking after they've seen it, and that's, as a filmmaker, like, that's the highest compliment you can get. So I'm really happy that people seem to be responding well to it.
And for much of the film, you kind of, your character is on their own. What was that experience like? I mean, it's guessing, after lockdown and things, did that dredge anything up?
Yeah, it dredged a lot up. Yeah, it was a really interesting experience. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like, not only directing myself, but also acting with no one for the most part. And I found it actually really refreshing. It felt a lot like, I don't know, sort of being back in school and working on monologues in my room and just being able to feel emotions and experience those. I trusted my DOP tremendously, and so the way we'd work is we'd sort of do a test run of what the shot was going to be, and then I'd start doing takes, and I would know inside when I got what I wanted, and I would say, "Did you get it?" And he'd either say yes or no, and then we'd move on, and that was really the only way that we were going to be able to make this thing, and I just had to give over to my own instincts and trust myself that what I was getting was what I wanted to, and I think it worked out.
I guess the other aspect of it, because obviously it's yourself on your own for quite a lot, there's a lot of onus put on the music, on the score. How was that process going, working with Van?
It was great. Van is one of my best friends. I've known him since college. He's a brilliant composer. And one of the things we talked about, Sequence Break was all full of synth and all this kind of electronic stuff to go with the themes of that film. And with this, we talked about everything being way more analog, so guitars, pianos, stuff that felt real in the world, because that's what he's dealing with. He's dealing with, junk and nature and things that he can find because it's the post-apocalypse. And so Van was really able to weave all those themes in a really clever way, and he and I just share such a shorthand and have worked together so much and known each other so long that I think I had 3 notes for him overall for the whole score once he turned it in. He really got it immediately.
And for those that missed the screening here, where can people follow along for updates on future screenings and releases?
Yeah, so the best place is on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. At Graham Skipper is my handle. That's where I'll be posting everything about it. It is coming out in the States in mid-September on TVOD, and I know that they're working on a UK release right now, which hopefully will be sometime before the end of the year. But yeah, follow at Graham Skipper on Twitter, and I'll be posting way too much about this film and about all the release plans and everything.
And we should probably also plug your essay in the second sight release of Late Night with the Devil.
Yes, as I should plug yours. I was honored to be asked by Second Sight to contribute an essay. I love that film, my essay sort of talks about the relationship between Late Night with the Devil and the history of playing with the veracity of horror and sci-fi media. Talking a little bit about the famous War of the Worlds that Orson Welles did, that caused actual panic, where people really believed that it was happening. So it sort of explores that stuff and the history of all that. And I love that film, and so for them to reach out and say, "Do you want to write an essay?" I was, "Of course I do. It's great." Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to read it, and best of luck with the film. Thank you. So Beatrice, welcome to Fright Fest. You are here with Never Have I Ever. What was it about, this script and this character that spoke to you and made you want to get involved?
So I'm really interested in characters that are a little bit morally grey, especially when the protagonist and antagonist have kind of redeeming qualities, but also things they do that are a little bit kind of iffy. So I feel like Mara is one of those characters for me that I really felt empathy for, but I like that she maybe made a decision that is not technically moral, and it kind of drew me to it. It's a little bit different to films I've done in the past, and it was just something that I could really sink my teeth into.
And a lot of the film, it's almost like a play in a way, that it's quite still, it's a lot of conversation. What was that experience like?
Yeah, very, very conversational. It was quite nice. It took a little bit of time to get into, because obviously a lot of the time with film you are moving a location so frequently. But for this, it was very much seated, a lot of dialogue back and pro. But it was fun. It meant I could really kind of get into the character. Andrew and I could really, play that cat and mouse game, and we could really kind of play with what our tactics were as characters. So it was really fun.
And how is Andrew as a co-star? Because this is, it's a very intimate film between the two of you, basically.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. He is such a giving person to work with, and I think, like you said, because this is like a play and it is so intimate, he's so on it the whole time. He's so present, even when the camera's not on him, which means as an actor I can then bounce off of that, and he's giving every single time. So it meant that I could have a lot of fun, I could play, we could really get into it together. So he was great.
And obviously we're here talking at Fright Fest. Is this your first time at the festival?
It is, yeah. So very exciting. I feel like in with a bang. A bit nervous, but yeah, I'm really, really happy to be here, and it's definitely got a reputation, so I'm finding that out for myself, which is nice.
Yeah, because obviously your director Damon is a long-term attendee turned director, so has he been giving you any tips for the festival?
I think he's as nervous as I am, because it's the first time that he's had a feature film here, but he just kind of said enjoy it, just kind of meet people, hope that they enjoy the film. I saw a film yesterday as well, so I'm trying to kind of get into the whole festival as a whole. But yeah, he's just kind of said enjoy it, and we're both a little bit nervous together, which is quite nice.
Well, I'm going to let you go and enjoy your screening later. Thank you. So Damon, I'd say welcome to Fright Fest, but you're always at Fright Fest, right?
Yep. I've been coming here now 15 years. So this is it's been I was in my early 30s when I started coming here. So it's been a whole lifetime ago.
And you've gone, from attendee to short film director, now to feature film. How does it feel to kind of go on this journey with Fright Fest?
I mean, it feels very special, because it was coming here that made me realise that actually this thing that I thought was unattainable for me, to being able to make a film, wasn't. And I distinctly remember I saw Joe Begos had a short film, this little werewolf thing that he shot in his flat with his friends, that played on the main screen in the Empire. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, so you can do that and get these big screenings. So that was when, with my best friend, we set about to make The Tour, which is our first short film, and it played here, and it was one of the greatest feelings I'd had. And so being able to now and it was so to be able to now go on that journey with the people that really gave me my filmmaking life, to have my debut feature here with them is just means a hell of a lot to me. It's a really special feeling.
And talk to me a little bit about Never Have I Ever. Where did the idea come from?
So the idea randomly came from a chat in the Phoenix, which was where we go for our after hours after the films, with just a friend that I've got at the festival. We talked about, we'd seen a couple of films which had the Never Have I Ever drinking game in it, and he started talking about doing that but with like a film like Cheap Thrills. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting, but because Never Have I Ever, the game, is all about stuff you've already done, this idea was percolating, but I couldn't figure out, okay, how do I make it like Cheap Thrills where you're escalating the future? So I wanted to come up with something where you're kind of escalating the past. And then I went back that year, this was in 2022, wrote the script in about a week, and then did what I did with all my scripts these days, is I go, right, I'll wait until I got some money or some finances, and then I'll come back back to him. But then last year, a film called Law played, which starred this man.
Totally missed the camera. Okay, he's going to do it properly.
Starred that man, and it just made me go, actually, that's the guy for my main character. It just hit right. So I sent him the script. He really liked it. Said yes, and then was like, all right. And this was in September, literally the week after Frightfest. Said he was available at the beginning of December. So spoke to my DP, who also said the beginning of December was the only time he had free. I had 3 months pre-production to finance, get it going, film it. It was a roller coaster.
And for those that can't be at the screening of Never Have I Ever tonight, where can they find updates online? Where should they be looking?
We're still waiting on more festival news, but I will hopefully be announcing some good news in the screening a bit later.
But for those that can't be there, where can they find it on socials?
Oh, on socials, we have an Instagram page which I need to make public because it was just for all the build-up and everything. It was for the backers. So it's at NHIE_movie on Instagram, or just follow me or some of the cast. They're all been promoting it, so they'll be able to find stuff with any of them.
Best of luck with the screening. Best of luck with the screening.